What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. Welcome. Thank y'all for viewing my channel. Thank y'all for staying tuned and viewing the content in 2025. Now, if you have been watching this channel for quite some time, again, stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Now, as far as the general notion of my quote unquote, my platform, my channel here on YouTube, it's not for children. Okay? Simple, simple, simple. On this channel, Lord Enlightened Luciferian Prince 7.7, it's not for children. So as I always tell my new viewers, for those who already been here, you know what it is. Adult-based content only. Now, as far as anything else, this does not constitute legal advice. Does not constitute anything anti-government. I can't be anti-self because the power of the government is the people. Simple as that. We lose our sense of self-government when we consent to be governed. Let's get that straight. But anything else, as long as you don't consent, you are your own government. Let conscience rule supreme. So with that being said, if you're in a legal situation and you need the help of an attorney, I am not an attorney, nor ever will I desire to ever be one. Go consult with one, give me a fiat, and secure their services. Otherwise, on this platform, I'm just a man who loves to read. Now that we got that out the way, people, let's cook. So, in regards to a previous video about signing a documentation, UCC, what was it? 1-308. Had a brain fart, my fault. It's early in the morning. 1308.4, pardon me. That was just the signature for the reservation of rights, which of course is perfectly fine. But I want to drop something more noteworthy onto you, so basically you'll understand the full-fledged weight of how the UCC is applicated in regards to you. Now, most people would try to say that this is otherwise not law and so forth and so on. I'm going to be the one to tell you. The more you study and the more you research, you will know that the Uniform Commercial Code is considered the governance of the laws of contracts. It is the supreme law of contracts. It is the underwritten law that all states, all corporations have to make a law in accordance with. Okay? So a lot of people will try to make you believe that you are some type of government extremist and all types of names. They will basically try to slander you. But no, this is the underlying function of contracts. These are the things that basically keep people bounded to liabilities and keep them otherwise entrenched in debt and so forth and so on, while other parties who actually they contract with receive the benefits of the contract. What I'm trying to do, what I've been telling you, and what I am doing as well, is to convey a message to people on how to get yourself out of the liability aspect of a contract. You have unlimited ability to contract with anybody and anything you wish. The object when you contract is to not accept the liability, but to accept the benefit of the contract. That's what I'm here to convey. Nothing more, nothing less, in accordance with the law. Now, there is UCC 3-414, which is the title of this video, all right? Which is obligation of drawer. Now, this has to deal with negotiable instruments. And I spoke about it in the previous video, but I'm just going to read the law because it's general advice only. But I'm just going to read what it says. Now, the source is from United States Law, Legal Information Institute. You can look it up yourself. UCC 3-414, obligation of drawer. This section does not apply to cashier's checks or other drafts drawn on the drawer. Okay? Pay attention to that. Now, let's go to B. If an unaccepted draft is dishonored, the drawer is obliged to pay the draft according to its terms at the time it was issued, or if not issued at the time it first came into possession of a holder, or if the drawer signed an incomplete instrument, according to the terms when completed, to the extent stated in sections 3-115 and 3-407. The obligation is owed to a person entitled to enforce the draft or to an endorser who paid the draft under Section 3-415. If a draft is accepted by a bank, the drawer is discharged, regardless of when or by whom acceptance was obtained. If a draft is accepted and the acceptor is not a bank, the obligation of the drawer to pay the draft, if the draft is dishonored by the acceptor, is the same as the obligation of an endorser under Section 3-415A and C. E. If a draft states that it is drawn without recourse or otherwise disclaims liability of the drawer to pay the draft, the drawer is not liable under Section B to pay the draft if the draft is not a check. A disclaimer of liability stated in subsection B is not effective if the draft is a check. F. If a check is not presented for payment or given to a depository bank for collection within 30 days after its date, the drawee suspends payments after expiration of the 30-day period without paying the check, and because of the suspension of payments, the drawer is deprived of funds maintained with the drawee to cover payment of the check. The drawer, to the extent deprived of funds, may discharge its obligation to pay the check by assigning the person entitled to enforce the check the rights of the drawer against the drawer with respect to the funds. Now, that's the law, but let's break it down in simple terms. When you sign anything, i.e., in reference to this code section in particular that just described, particularly a check, notice what I was also telling people about in previous videos: promissory notes, bills of exchange. Didn't say any of those things, okay? Those are considered negotiable instruments. If you have a Black's Law dictionary, look up bill of exchange, look up promissory note, and look up negotiable instruments. Then look up check, okay? All of these are different forms of drafts, but they specifically refer to that instrument, a check, okay? So read thoroughly for your own education, okay? Read that code section thoroughly. Now, when you actually look up this code section, they underline all of the actual definitions that you should further study. But I'm just breaking it down simply. When you actually send an instrument for payment to an individual, since you are the one with the right to enforce it, and they dishonor, you do not pay the liability, okay? Without recourse means just that. Without recourse. I'm endorsing this document without recourse, which means that I'm sending it to you. Upon your disapproval, do not send it back to me because I'm not accepting the liability for it. Now, also to mention, I said it previously in another video where I talked about UCC 3-603. If the individual refuses whatever you send them in regards to a payment, you're not liable. Not only that you're not liable, you're not even liable to even pay the amount that's actually on the documentation itself. So you're free from all liability. It's just that simple. When you really read into the law, it simply says it when you have a legalese-based mindset to read into it and understand that when you actually look, it actually gives you, if you can see it, they're all underlined: drafts, drawer. All of these things are basically letting you know who's what and who's who in regards to the transaction. You yourself are the presenter. You're presenting it for a payment or a discharge of some type of sum or fee, whatever they wish to call it. But you endorse it, UCC 3-414. You remove the liability from the contract for it actually being drawn back onto you. You sent it for payment just simply for the acceptance of it. And it's a beautiful thing when you understand how this works, because a lot of people say, well, they're going to go and do whatever they want. Let them, okay? When you stand in this capacity, you are secured, okay? You are secured in your transactions. And I'm going to say this again for people who are a little bit late to class. The reason why they don't want you filing UCC-1s in the Secretary of State's office is because that is pretty much the record keeper of all transactional history in the state, okay? So if you're on record as a secured party, that means any entity within the environment of the state has no jurisdiction over the strawman entity, which is what they want to contract with, okay? If you are secured in commerce, no entity in state government that wishes to do commerce with you cannot contract with you because you're secured in regards to your transactions. Now, I say this time and time again. If you harm a person or their property, there's nothing you can do about it. Natural law supersedes statutory. So if you did it, well, you got to pay for it in one way or another. You can't get rid of that. But if it's just a non-victim situation, and it's just arguably an amount, a fee, whatever, you can handle it in your respective natural capacity. And that's in less than 11 minutes. The object is here, people. I know a lot of individuals, I call them agents. They particularly would want you to believe that exercising and standing up for your commercial rights to protect your natural self is wrong. They want you to believe that you actually learning about the train of abuses that you, I, and many other millions of people have suffered is wrong. Okay? Y'all see what's happening in Washington, D.C. Incorporated today? You have individuals who have been sitting, term for term, year after year, robbing, raping, pillaging, and extorting, basically, under duress and coercion, the American people. Now, this is majority of politicians and majority of politicians who actually sit in your state, who you people who may vote are actually constituents of. I can guarantee you, if you looked up majority of your leaders, so to speak, their base salary as opposed to what they actually have as their net worth don't line up. It doesn't line up. There is no way you can go from a base salary at, okay, like what's her name? Nancy Pelosi. From a base salary of over $250,000 a year, you amassed a fortune of over $240 million. How did you do that? How did you do that? I know how you did it, because the contracts that were extended to the American populace because of their ignorance was dispersed amongst themselves, and they divided up the riches amongst themselves. And these are just people that they're just naming. Trust me, it's way more individuals. Don't believe me? Look up your senators in your state. Look at how much they have as far as their base salary. And you think that I'm joking? Don't take my word for it. Do your research. These are the contracts that we unknowingly enrich others with. Don't y'all think that right now at this time in 2025, with all the stuff that's going on right now, as much as they want to cover it up, you cannot do works in the darkness and they not come to the light. Simple as that. And you people who view this channel and view other content, understand the capacity of yourself. You must do your homework and research and to know that you are the creditor, you are the wealth of this nation. But they want you to believe that you are the debtor, to keep a few people in positions of power. Power is just a pretended idea that I know something you don't. That's the illusionary fact of power. The illusionary fact of power is making you believe that I'm better than you because I have more than you. But you can only have more than a person if you can trick them out of it. That is just so simple. But a lot of people are la-di-da-di-da, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool. And that's what keeps them rich. There's no way you can amass a fortune of over $240 million and your base salary is less than $300,000. So just think, that's a drop in the pond, man. And that's just one. Y'all do y'all research and understand you are the wealth of this nation, but because of these contracts, these adhesion contracts that you're not aware of, they keep robbing you of your wealth. They keep trying to foreclose on your property. They keep trying to repossess your vehicle. They're reporting you to credit bureaus. Like, they're literally slandering you and disfranchising you under the guise of business. Enough's enough, people. Whether you want to do something about it or not, it's your choice. If you don't want to do anything about it, cut this video off and act like anything I said didn't even matter. But you have to read and research this stuff. It's real. You have to enforce this. You do. If you don't, cut this off and join the rest of the crowd who's steadily getting there. They're sheared sheep, steadily getting sheared every year. Go join. Other than that, you can take it upon yourself to get proactive and enforce these to keep your natural self out of liability. That's just that simple, people. So with that being said, stay tuned for the next upload. Is what it is. If you want to contact me via email for consultation, whatever the case may be, feel free to do so. My email information is in the video description and the comment section below. Simple as that, people. This is the law. Irrespective of opinionation, irrespective of anyone naysaying, irrespective of all of what people may think, it all boils down to commerce. Period. As they always say, it's not personal, it's business. And when you realize that this society has way advanced adjust to this, then you'll actually know where you stand and how you conduct your business. Other than that, you don't take care of your business will take care of you. Simple as that. Peace, light, love. Y'all take care. Stay tuned for the next upload. I don't even have to say it. Agents, fuck you. I'm out.